Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Lauren Benoit. Now, she's not going to get up on a cylinder and balance, are you?
Well, maybe next time.
Okay, good. But she does balance a lot because she's balancing a sixth segment, New York Healthy, coming up. Why don't you tell our viewers about it? You are with Oasis, which is the Center for Excellence in Aging and Community Wellness.
Very good, actually.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
Okay. She's the director.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you very much for having me on today. I really appreciate it. The Center for Excellence in Aging and Community Wellness is where I work, and we host these Living Healthy New York community workshops all throughout the Capital Region, and I'm here today to talk about 3 workshops that we have today. And the first workshop that we have is called the Living Healthy Workshop. It's 6 weeks. And it's for people who have a chronic condition or...
It's encompassing.
Yes, yes. It could be anything from hypertension to high blood pressure to fibromyalgia to diabetes. And it's also for their caregivers. And we learn things throughout the 6 weeks of how to live a healthier life through weight management, through depression management. We also do some wonderful action planning and some brainstorming throughout that. And that is free for anyone 18 and older. And that is based out of the Stanford University Chronic Disease Self-Management Program.
Wonderful program.
Yes, and then we also have the Living Healthy with Diabetes, which is also called the Diabetes Self-Management Program, which is also out of Stanford University, and that is for people who are living with diabetes and or their caregivers to learn how to live healthier with diabetes. We talk about weight management, we learn how to read food labels, different things like that.
And weight control, of course, can certainly diminish the amount of diabetic medication.
Exactly. So that is also free to anyone, again, 18 and older. And then we also have, I know it's many workshops that we have, but we also have...
That's great.
I know, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
We also have the Matter of Balance, Managing Concerns.
Balance, wait a second.
Yes,
no.
I know. I don't think
what
he needs it,
though.
It's called the Matter of Balance, Managing Concerns About Falls. And it's an 8-week workshop, and it's for people who have a fear of falling, who have fallen in the past. We talk about home modification. We talk about what do you do if you want to go visit a friend at night and you're not really sure how to go about it. So we talk about really asking for what you need and what you want, calling your friend and asking, could you make sure there's a light on? Could you make sure that the pets are in a different room? Did they de-ice the front steps? So it's asking for what you need and want. There is a component of exercise in that. It's not an exercise program, so I want to stress that for people, but we do talk about exercise. We do some
there's
simple
things
exercise
that you can do to help your balance, and like standing on one foot for that kind of thing.
We do marching in place. We do some stretching, but nothing with weights, and that is $12 for a participant.
And we just don't want you to try what you just saw.
No, please don't. No, step stools are very dangerous, so please, nobody use those. But the program, we have had over 6,000 people in the last 3 years go through these programs, and we have a grant from the Administration on Aging to have 11,000 New Yorkers in the next 3 years go through these programs. So I have a huge push, but I have many partners that I work with. I work with the Administration on Aging, the New York State Department of Health, the New York State Office for the Aging. We work with Schenectady County Long-Term Care Services, Albany County.
Over there,
Yes, so we work again all throughout the state, but my area is the Capital Region, and we have about 30 workshops that are starting right after the new year. So I am here to recruit participants for these wonderful workshops.
And they can go to your website.
They can go to our website at www.ceacw.org, or the best thing to do is to just call me.
Okay.
So you can call myself. Call me at 442-5529.
Okay. Give me that number one more time.
Sure. It's 442-5529. We have many workshops.
Somebody asked me, I got it.
Yes. Now we also are looking for people, just to back up, these workshops are led by peer volunteer leaders.
Okay.
And they go through 4 days of intensive training to become leaders for this. So we're always recruiting for leaders for these programs as well. So if you have some time and want to give back to the community, this is definitely a way to do it.
Well, that's really good to know because it gives you an opportunity to, maybe you don't have a chronic illness, but you can help.
Yes, and it's a peer-to-peer model. So we do ask if you have I have a chronic condition. So most of our leaders, I would say 98% of our leaders do have a chronic condition. So it truly is a peer-to-peer model. We know that that actually works. So people learn a lot out of it, and I love my job because I get to help people. That's all.
That
I get
is
to
nice.
do.
And how long have
So,
you been doing this?
For about 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so it's a wonderful program, wonderful programs, I should say.
And now, where would they find these programs?
Well,
I mean, would they have to go to another city, or where would they find them?
Well, they're right in your own neighborhood, and we're getting more all the time. So we're always talking to community host sites. So if anybody who's out there listening would like to host one of these workshops, we'd love to hear from them as well. But to give you an idea, we have a few starting in January at Avila Retirement Community. We have at Schaefer Heights Senior Apartments, Glen Eddy Retirement Community, also Atria Guilderland. We're going to be having some at a wonderful partnership with ShopRite. So we're going to be hosting them in ShopRite as well in their community rooms.
So you don't have to belong to any of these places, you just come.
Yep, and they're 6 weeks long, except for the Matter Balance, which is 8.
And how long are they each one?
2.5 hours, and the Matter Balance is 2 hours. And we do ask, you have to give a commitment. It is 6 weeks or it is 8 weeks, and we ask you to go to all of them because they really build upon the week. They do. So, and you really get a lot out of it. So.
Good. So the way to sign up is to call.
You can talk to myself or my coworker,
and
Kathy.
then she'll also get you into the spot that's closest to you.
Yes, of course. Yep. And if we can't find you a spot, we hold your name and we'll call you when we can find a spot for you. And it's just so you know, it's between 12 and 18 participants per workshop.
Okay.
So there's a lot of sharing that goes on, and so there's. It's a place where people can really share their emotions and really talk about it, because we really know with people with chronic conditions have a lot of the same emotions and the same fears. So we get to really share about it.
And a lot of them think they're the only ones that are feeling that. And
They're
you go,
not.
oh, it must be awful because I'm the only one that must, because everybody else seems okay.
Yes.
And then you get into a group and you find out, yeah,
Wonderful.
we're all feeling that way.
Yeah,
it's okay,
we do.
you're not different.
Yeah, and not at all. And we have action plans every week that we talk about different things that you want to do. So it's very exciting.
Are you able to connect people with resources?
Yes, we always have a resource table at the end, in the back of the room. So yes, that is part of it. But again, this is a self-management program. So people elect to be into these programs, or they can elect to not be in them. So we do have a lot of resources, and we find that 6 months later, about 70% of the people who took these workshops are still doing what they learned in the workshop.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they get a wonderful meditation CD, and they get a wonderful chronic disease self-management book. It's a $30 value, so they get that for free as well too.
Oh, aren't you special
I know.
giving out these gifts? You have to wait for the holidays. You just do it after the holidays.
So we have classes again starting right in the beginning of January that I need to get filled. So we have peer leaders, volunteer leaders that have to teach these classes, and I don't want to have to postpone any of the workshops.
Right. Well, Lauren Benoit is with us, of course, and she's the director of Oasis, and that's the Center for Excellence in Aging and Community Wellness.
Excellent.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you get a candy cane for that.
And so anyway, check with her, and she did give her phone number out. It's 442-5529.
Yep.
Give her a call and find out where our class is near you. Now, the first two classes that she discussed, the first two workshops,
Yep.
right, are for chronic illnesses.
For chronic illnesses.
The first one is chronic illnesses, the second one is for diabetes. And then the third one she talked about, which there's a small charge for, is about falls. And if you watched our first segment, you saw this man does not need to go to that workshop.
No.
Isn't he incredible?
Yes, he was wonderful.
I mean,
wonderful.
I
do that on my spare time though. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
We're having her on next
Yes.
week. You may get a call.
All right, I'll be ready.
Lauren Benoit, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break.